We're converting these two flats back into one house, and welcome back to our channel and to episode 2 of the renovation vlogs this year. If you're new here, then hey, we're Ellie and Lloyd, and we bought these two flats to convert back into one house in April 2022. So far, we've installed a staircase because there was no internal one. We've created our dream bathroom, completed our spare room renovation. We've done a full-on loft conversion, created the kitchen of our dreams, and our current project is our living and dining room. This is an upside-down house, and we decided to do this because when we moved in, it was split into flats, and we decided to live in the first floor flat for the first few weeks just to get a feel for it. We decided that the light was so much nicer in here, and the whole floor was so much easier to make open plan in terms of the construction of the walls. We really wanted an open plan kitchen, living and dining room, and with the views from these windows, we thought this was going to be the perfect place. In the last episode, you saw us almost complete our herringbone flooring in this open plan area, did lots of organising, tidying up, lots of tip runs, and we'd started work on painting and decorating the walls in the dining area. Okay, so now you're up to speed. Let's get on with episode 2. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to our channel. It is a bright sunny day today. Look at that. Currently 20 to 8. And it's warm. It is warm. I know it's not often warm in Wales, but today and the last few days we've been blessed with it. Welcome to a new renovation vlog. I hope you're all doing well. We've got an exciting day today because we have got our media wall, which is going in this space. I think I explained this to you in the last vlog. The units come in for that today from Smile Kitchens. So, it's not looking the most aesthetic now with the washing basket on here, but this is our dream kitchen, if you haven't seen it before, complete with our walk-in pantry. So these doors close to kind of look like cupboards, and then we walk through to the hidden pantry. So we're absolutely in love with our kitchen, so much so that we've decided that for the kind of bottom half of our media wall, we'd love to have some storage because, as you can see, this room is pretty open and there's not that much room for storage. You know, there's no walls to put sideboards against, etc. So, just like these units to this side of our island, as you can see, they are a lot shallower than the standard base units. So these are actually wall units, but they are on the floor. So we've got 3 of these coming today, complete with doors and handles. Decided to keep the handles off these, but they are, in fact, cupboards. But they kind of look more seamless, and there's less chance of banging your knee on a handle when you sit under here. Saying that, we still haven't bought our bar stools, but just can't decide. I shall pick back up when the delivery arrives, and I'll show you what we've got so far. P.S. Who likes my new nails? I think these may be my favourite ones yet. I think this hand may even be nicer. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon. So guys, the delivery has arrived. Oh my god, I am boiling after bringing all of that up. That is the issue with an upstairs entrance. Eventually we're gonna have like a walkway, flat roof on this, and a walkway rather than down and up again, because this level is almost the same level as where the cars are parked. Anyway, here is the delivery. So, like I said, we've got 3 700 wide wall units, and we're going to be putting them on the floor. I think me and Lloyd are going to have a look later at whether we're going to hang them on the wall and have like them so they look floating, have some lighting underneath them, or if we build them on a frame so they look built in. So we're kind of like toying with that idea. Don't really know which one to go for, but I'm gonna have a look on Pinterest, I think, and I'll pop some pictures up here. I probably already will have popped the pictures up. And let me know in the comments which one you think we should do. Let's open up some of these boxes so I can show you the handles and the door colours, even though they're exactly the same. In this box, I believe are the handles. So these are the Hugo brushed satin brass handles. How nice is that? I mean, it is exactly the same as what we've gone for in the kitchen units, but I just think that brass is so nice, and can you see it's kind of like brushed as well. And then here we have got the doors. We've gone for the beautiful Vard style kitchen, so it's like a modern shaker, and this is the colour Moon. Again, exactly the same as the kitchen unit colour. You can see it's solid ash wood. All of the doors are made out of solid ash and they're painted as well, which is amazing. I just love seeing the wood grain detail. I think it gives it like just a little bit more texture, a little bit more depth. Good morning. It is now 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. So we spent yesterday evening after work kind of setting out the media wall units, seeing how they were looking, seeing how it was kind of all gonna come together, and playing around with a few ideas, drawing some plans for the shelves and the uprights on the wall. But yeah, today we're gonna have a look at cutting some of the media wall units down because of the depth of the chimney breast, which is where we're gonna bring the units out flush to. We need to cut the actual units down. Here's Lloyd.
Hello.
He's happy to be on the vlog. So this is the depth of the chimney breast. It's about 220, is it? 240? 240. And the depth of the media wall units is around 350. No,
Standard, yeah.
350 with the door.
Yeah.
Sorry, would you like me to hold that? So as you can see by this one, obviously it's not against the wall completely, but it sticks out a little bit further than the chimney breast, and we want it to all look built in and flush so it doesn't stick out proud of it or anything. So we're just measuring up now for where the plaster's going to come to when I replaster this, when we move the long burner, and also how far out the chimney, the media wall unit can come with the door included, so it's flush and all in line. Been trying a few different ways to cut them down. Because they're wall units, the backs aren't detachable like they are in a base unit, and unfortunately our cut needs to, what are these things called?
Camel.
Right through the centre of the cam locks, doesn't it? So we've got to get a bit crafty, but we're going to make it work. Or Lloyd's going to make it work. And I'm going to provide the coffee. That's this morning's little task. Just have a go. Just do one probably, see how it goes. In the last video, you'll have seen me tidying this room up. And yes, this is tidy. This is basically our storage room for our materials. We've got the wood there. We've got our insulation. All these black bags are full of insulation. Plenty of Fosters. Still trying to get rid of the Fosters. So let's take a look at this masking tape.
Thank you.
It was under the stairs.
I'm marking the depth of these to cut,
So that's the amount that has to be chopped off?
yeah, I hope so anyway.
Okay.
So then that's 224 plus the door,
Yeah.
which gives us what we want.
And so we actually cut that cam lock off completely?
It'll be gone, yeah.
Okay.
So the pencil line looks like the grain.
Okay, so that's why the masking tape's on there.
Yeah.
Are you doing masking tape around the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to mark it and then we'll cut it. I'm not going to cut it with yet. We'll try a test piece of something to see what it cuts like.
Lloyd's just marking each side of the unit here, so marking out how much of it needs to be cut off on all four faces. He then took the unit outside, and after trying out a few cuts with different tools on some off-cut pieces, we decided that the circular saw was the best tool for this job. So Lloyd just cut through all four faces until the back piece came off all in one chunk, and then it was time for a pancake break. Moment of truth. Can I give you this thing that you drilled through?
Yeah, I was like, thank you.
Is all the same depth?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, perfect. Are you happy with it?
Right now?
Yeah. Here's Lloyd just mocking up the units to see how they fit for depth against the chimney breast. So we've decided to call it a day for today because we've got some stuff we've got to do this afternoon. So this is where we're up to. I will have inserted the time lapses, but you can kind of see the vision coming together. So we've got the 3 wall units here, and then we're going to be having kind of filler pieces on either edge, working out how much of our offcuts of plinth and cornice we can use to kind of maximize that, because we've got all of those offcuts as well. So we're just trying to maximize everything and put them all in the right places. So we're just gonna have a think about all of this now, do some kind of calculations of what we've got left, and I shall pick this back up when we've got an update. Good morning, guys. It is now Sunday. So yesterday, I think the last thing that I showed was the media wall. So we've kind of tidied everything up a bit now. Look at that sun beaming in. That's going to look so nice when it's all done. But yeah, this is the update. I think I showed you, we kind of mocked up the units, we cut them down. There's a little bit more prep I need to do. So this is a vent hole, and so is this. Obviously, this room was split. This whole open plan room originally was split into four different rooms. So this was the living room, that was the bedroom, that was the bathroom, and then the kitchen was through that doorway. So it obviously needed a lot of ventilation just for air circulation. It's an old house, you know. So there was lots of air vent holes. However, we are going to block up these two. We've got one, it's actually behind this piece of skirting. I literally put this piece of skirting here for some content, but you can just about see there's an air vent there, which is going to have a cover on it. And then we've also got one down here that needs a cover fitting. So my point is, there's plenty of ventilation in this room, and yeah, it'll be fine to block these up to go behind the media wall. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to cut some pieces of insulation. Our house has got EWI, external wall insulation. You can probably see with how deep the window reveals are on the outside. So we've got some of that EWI. It's kind of like polystyrene. I'll show you in a minute. And I'm going to cut it to fit the hole in there and in there. Put expanding foam around it, and then we shall mix up some sand and cement render and just kind of fill the gap. Wait for that to go off, and then I will be using Cineat Smart Mix, which is like a really fine plaster / filler. It's what you use to tape and joint things with. So I'll be using that just to skim over it to finish. Because it's going to be the media wall, there's no need to kind of be too fussy with it, because it's kind of going to be behind the shelves and stuff. So that's today's first task. So let's get into that. This is the insulation that I'm talking about. So I'm just going to measure up the holes now, mark it on here, and then cut them out with the multi-tool. The gaps have been filled with bits of insulation, and I have also foamed them in. So I'm going to wait for that foam to kind of go off so I can cut it back before I SBR the edges and then render it in. So while I wait for that, I am going to go back now to the doorway which I plastered. I think in the last vlog I showed you the kind of slight disaster that happened with this. So I actually ran out of plaster when I was doing it. So I didn't manage to get a second coat on it. However, I troweled it as much as possible, and okay, there's a little bit around the edge which is not looking great, but that's not the end of the world because there will be architrave around that. I just did this area here because this is plasterboard, this is old plasterboard, this is new plasterboard. So we had a bit of a bump here, so I kind of filled out that with some Cineat. So I am going to sand this back now, sand all the Cineat back because it's just really fine and it just sands back really easily. Also need to sand these bits on the ceiling. So I'm going to get on with this. It's a really messy task, but it will be worth it to get it done. So I'll put you on time lapse for this one. Sanding and plasterboard, little hole repairing. You can see where the trunking used to run down to there. It's been painted so many times. So there was like a lip of where the paint was, so I filled all of that area. So I'm gonna wait for that to dry now. You kind of see where the fill is starting to dry, just the dark bits are where it's still wet. I'm gonna leave that for probably half an hour to 45 minutes and revisit these. So the foam looks like it has gone off now, so I'm just gonna go around and trim any bits that are kind of like proud of where I want the render to go. And same for down here. Then what I'll do is get some SBR and just kind of brush along the exposed bits of brick and render that are existing there. And the same down here, there's a bit more existing render to SBR to here. This just kind of seals it and gives it like a kind of bond to stick to. I'll also probably mix a little bit of SBR in with the render just to give it a little bit extra, because there's not much for it to stick to really here. Waiting for this last bit of Cineat to go off. You can probably just about see the darker line just there, so that's taken a little bit longer than I had hoped. What I'm going to do in the meantime is tackle this area here. So we're in, obviously, living room, that's the entrance door, and then this is going to be the doorway through to the stairs to go up into the attic. So you can see Lloyd has plasterboarded this area out. And then this area here, which is currently full of a lot of rubbish, this is going to be our WC on this floor. So we're going to have just a very simple toilet and basin. So we've got one on this floor so that when we have guests around, they don't have to go upstairs to our ensuite or downstairs to the main bathroom. We've got one on this floor. I think will be very handy. So I'm going to try and tidy this area up. I'm going to put all of these things back where they belong downstairs. You now join me in the car. Got our gloves ready. We're going to do a tip run. My car is pretty full. I have already done one tip run this morning. I just love going to the tip. Does anyone else love it as much as me, or am I just weird? Probably. I'm just weird. It is now quite a few days later. It is now Tuesday, 9 o'clock in the morning, and today we have our windows and door being delivered. So we've got the door for the main entrance on the first floor, and then we've got one window either side of that door. So exciting times. We still haven't got any updates with the media wall yet. Had a really busy weekend. We were both away, so no progress on that yet, I'm afraid. But this weekend we are going to be going for it with the media wall. So I shall pick you back up when the windows are delivered. Window delivery has arrived. So we've got these two windows for there and the one in there, and then the door here. However, I think it might be the incorrect door. We're just going to find out now. Not quite the same as our ones downstairs, unfortunately. It's got these kind of, let me just see if I can get the camera to pick that up. It's got these kind of like false tongue and groove style panels. Colour's correct, but yes, not the best result. It's now Wednesday and our windows arrived yesterday. Sneak peek of the windows. I mean, it's nothing really too exciting to see. This is obviously the inside of the window, and then the outside. Phil is coming today to fit the windows for this window here and this window here. Hi guys, it is now the next day. It's now Thursday and the windows are in. So let me show you from the inside. How nice! I mean, I know it's kind of just like, it's just a window. It's just another white window. But yeah, super pleased with these. The reason we've gone for the openings the way we have is just because they have to meet the building regs for the fire escape, or the, what do they call it? Means of escape from the loft coming down onto this floor. So this is just the height it had to be. And we wanted this window and that one to be the same because from outside, it's going to look a lot better. So yeah, pleased with these. Still need to get the windowsills done, but we're gonna do that when Phil comes to do the door. So Lloyd has been doing some more progress with the media wall, but basically he has built the frame just on this, is that 3x2, I think? Built the frame on that, and then he has attached the cabinets to the wall with these little brackets in here, and also attached all of the cabinets together. We're going to order some, well, try and find some scaffolding boards. You might see these. We love this. It literally even says like the company where it's from. It's so kind of rustic, and I know it's not to everyone's taste, but we love it. So we're going to be going for a similar kind of weathered old scaffolding board on the shelves in here. But it's just finding old ones, you know, like it's easy to buy new ones, but I want old ones that I can sand down and, you know, keep rustic. So mission to find some of them. Good morning, guys. It is now sunny Sunday. So Lloyd has made some progress on the media wall. We have now got the doors on. Here he comes. So the doors are now on, and we have Lloyd has chased up the wall for this socket for behind the telly, which we have now come to realise that we don't need. But it's okay, it's all good. We'll make use of it. But the TV we want to get is the Samsung frame, and we kind of just assumed that we'd need a socket. And then when we went to go and order it yesterday, we realised that actually they have this thing called the One Connect cable, and it's like almost invisible, and it all connects to a box, like, which is where all of your HDMI cables are, everything else. So that was kind of a waste of time, but we're still going to use the chase to chase that One Connect cable in the wall, and then we're going to pop the box down underneath here in so it can have power from this socket, and yeah, all should be good. Also removed the log burner. I think I explained before, this log burner is actually like temporary for us, so we've removed that and started to repair and block up this area. We've got a lintel. Shall I just carry it? Got a lintel to go here and here just to try and block it up as much as we can, so then we can render this kind of repair patch that we had to hack off when we inserted this chimney liner. So we've got to repair all the way around here with sand and cement, and then we shall plaster the whole thing again and blend it up to here, which is where I blended to before. Good afternoon, guys. It is now Tuesday, so 1 p.m. on Tuesday, and last night Lloyd has been making some progress on the chimney breast. So here is the chimney breast. This is what it's currently looking like. So we have done the rendering. Lloyd has blue gritted the whole area and also added the beading, so now it's ready for plastering. We're going to replaster the whole chimney breast sides as well, and then we're just going to be blending it up to here, which is where I've already plastered to, which you will have seen in the last video. Good morning, guys. It is now Wednesday. I actually think this vlog has been going on for like over 2 weeks now, so bear with. However, I think the last clip that I filmed last night was the chimney breast, and I was about to start plastering. This was my task yesterday. I'm actually really pleased with the result of this plastering. You can see it's starting to dry out over here just because that's where we had some plasterboard, but it takes longer to dry out on onto sand and cement render. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It's really smooth. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, very chuffed with that. I find it a lot more enjoyable to plaster like a small section like that rather than a full wall. Like when I did this wall over here, I found it really difficult to enjoy it because I was just kind of like not rushing, but panicking and trying to get it all done in time before it went off. So yeah, that's what that's looking like. So you can really see the vision for this area now, can't you? The floor and also the media wall. Also, exciting news, our TV is arriving today. We have decided on the Samsung frame, and we were so happy that AO actually wanted to work with us on some content for that. So stay tuned for that on our TikTok and Instagram pages. It is now quite a few days later. It's now Thursday. I'm gonna give you a little update now. So this is what the media wall is currently looking like. We have fitted all of these units. Lloyd has fitted the doors and also added these filler pieces either side, as well as adding on the kind of plinth to look built in at the bottom there. We have also added on this kind of worktop. This is actually a scaffolding board. It's literally still got the scaffolding stamp on it, which we love. I sanded this down yesterday and we've just dry fitted it on here for now, just to check that all of the fit is correct. We actually had to add a little extension onto it here because it wasn't quite long enough. So we went for the 55-inch frame TV, drawn out the spot for it on here. Ordered I think it's called a Visa mount, where it comes out and it can also swivel. Look how smooth that is. Really proud of myself for that one. I'm also gonna have to take all of this off, because we had a bit of a bee infestation. If you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you will have seen. We had a bit of a bee infestation. They decided that our chimney was a great place for them to start building a hive. So the next job for the media wall was to get a coat of paint on the wall behind the TV before starting work on our floating shelves. We bought these kind of prongs from Amazon, which kind of allow you to make a floating shelf effect. Lloyd then drilled through the middle of the scaffolding boards using this guide to make sure it was right in the middle, and then the scaffolding boards were sanded down and they then slotted straight onto these prongs, as you can see here, with the holes that Lloyd had drilled. We repeated this process for both the vertical and horizontal floating shelves until we had built basically a really nice frame of different sized shelves. This is what it was looking like as the work in progress stage, and you can really see the vision here. Lloyd then tacked a few nails in before adding the handles to the media wall units, and I feel like this was really coming together now. The next stage for the media wall was to add a little bit of ambiance. So I got these RGB LED strips from Govee, I think it was called, and then we just stuck them all the way along the edge of the back of the TV, and this was the result. And this is the finished result of the media wall. Just a few months later that I finally put this video together. So we've got the autumnal scene here. We've got some battery candles and some photo frames which are yet to house any photos. But yeah, this is the update. We've also had our new log burner delivered. It is not functional yet, but we've just been mocking it up and testing out some different angles of the flue and things like that. But I think this is going to look so nice, and we cannot wait to light it because we do not have any radiators. So the sooner the better, the fire can be plumbed in. So please let us know what you think of the media wall and what you think of how I have styled it. Any ideas would be gratefully received. I've got my little Halloween candles down here, and yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any of our next renovation updates. Our next project is going to be our toilet on this floor, so make sure you don't miss any updates on that, and I'll catch you in the next one.